Howdy Simmers. I do a lot of building, and a lot of that is for my personal saves, but as much building as I do, I have never really attempted to do a base game only house until today, so this is what I got for you. Disclaimer, I feel like I jump around a lot in the video, so just bear with me on that. So I built this house on a 20 by 15 lot in Willow Creek called Streamlet Single. So it's not a very big lot, not a lot of room for me to really do anything, which is fine because it's a base game home. I wasn't expecting it to be like super big. But I definitely wasn't trying to go for like a starter home because I feel like there are a lot of base game homes that are specifically starter homes and not enough that aren't starter homes. So I really didn't focus on the budget for this at all. I definitely struggled a little bit on some things. The roofing gave me some issues. I feel like the kitchen ended up being really small and it's not my favorite house ever. And the reason that I don't typically try to build base game homes is because I don't like the lack of options when it comes to furnishing because base game really did not come with that much and a lot of the stuff is not like the nicest looking. So a lot of the time when I do build, I don't worry about doing like a specific pack or just base game only. I try to incorporate all the packs because I just find it easier for me to build and furnish things when I'm not limited in my options. So, yeah. But the house ended up being like almost 40,000 simoleons, not quite. And I think the lot price actually changes on the gallery. So I will show you that when we get to the actual tour. But yeah, I didn't end up going with the layout that I had originally put on here. When I put down each room, I did have kind of a layout in mind, but then I ended up removing all the walls and I actually made the house smaller. So, which is fine because base game home, I didn't really want to furnish kids' rooms is the thing because a lot of the base game furnishings for kids are not the nicest. And I feel like because so many base games already exist on the gallery, a lot of them are going to look the same because it's the same furnishings and I don't know. But I did go with the darker floor because I love dark hardwood floors. Like, I don't know. Sometimes I'm in a light wood mood when it comes to the flooring, but overall, I just love the dark hardwood. I don't know what it is. I like darker colors. Um, but I did keep the living room fairly neutral. I feel I went with this light blue because it's a really nice swatch, actually. But I was very lucky that we had like a matching couch and armchair set. We don't have a lot of matchy things that go on when it comes to seating, particularly like love seats and couches. But I will settle for a good armchair. There's nothing wrong with that. But as I said, the kitchen is really small. I did try to add some upper cabinets, but I just didn't feel like they were looking right. I didn't feel like we had a proper space for them, so I ditched them. But overall, I think this house turned out okay for what it could have been. This was my first attempt at building a base game only house, and I am actually kind of pleased with how it turned out. So, small bathroom. We did manage to get a shower in there though. At one point, I do realize that some of the windows are not the same height. As you can probably see briefly from the bedroom, two of the windows are higher up, and then there's one on the side that is a little bit lower than where it should be. So I do go and fix that all around the house, and so all the windows are at the same height, I promise. Oh man. The lack of mirrors in the base game though is what really made it difficult for me because I like to have mirrors kind of go like fully over dressers, and there aren't many base game mirrors that actually do that. A lot of them are really tiny. Here I am fixing the windows, like I said. But my favorite mirror that does that, like spreads over the entire dresser, I believe came with Seasons. I may be wrong about that. But yeah, we don't have a lot of options for mirrors that do that in this game, especially in base game. But I did manage to fit in a little office. It's kind of sad, but I mean, there's a computer and an easel in there, and there's a TV in the house. Your Sims aren't going to be bored. Okay? So we are getting on to actually painting all the walls, which I don't usually paint the walls last. I do usually do them first, but I'm trying to get in the habit of not letting the wall colors influence my furnishing decisions, which is why I wait to paint the walls now until kind of the end when I have the furnishings put in. It's a little bit easier for me. But we are getting to the outside. I didn't really put anything on the outside. There's a trash can and a bench. No real backyard, and that's because the layout that I ended up going with didn't really allow for me to put a back door anywhere, so I couldn't really put like a back area or anything. But we do some light landscaping here and there. I'm not good at landscaping whatsoever, but I made an attempt. So it's like it doesn't matter if I'm using base game only or not because I'm really bad at landscaping. So yeah, we are getting to the end of this now, so I am gonna go ahead and just give you a tour of the build. So let's go ahead. Okay, so the weather isn't the nicest in the game right now, but this is the house, and I went ahead and went with this green color on the outside. I don't think I've ever built a green house in my life, but I actually don't hate the way that this looks. I definitely think I could have put maybe like a smaller window up here on the roofs, but it's fine. So let's go ahead and get into the house. All right, so we walk up the stairs. We have the little bench area over here next to the trash can. I imagine you probably don't want to sit next to the trash can though, because it probably stinks. But coming in here, we have the living room. Like I said, we have the matching armchair and couch, which I really like. Just some simple little plants kind of around. We have the TV over here. We also have this kind of nice entry area where I've put a little like coat rack section, so you can hang your hat and your coat up on here, or you could put it on the actual coat rack. I went with the same curtains all throughout the house because continuity, but they are a little bit plain, I think. We have a bookshelf in the corner over here, and then over here we have the little dining and kitchen section, which I realized I did not change the swatches on those aprons, but it is fine. Like I said, the kitchen is definitely a little bit on the small side, but it is okay because there aren't really too many Sims living here. At most, it would be like 2 Sims because there is a double bed. But I mean, the kitchen is nice. I do love these base game counters. They are very like, I want to say they're modern, but they may be more like mid-century modern. But they do look really nice, and I love using the black appliances. I don't do that very often, but I think that it looks really nice. I even gave him a little coffee machine because we all need some coffee in our life, I think. And I did remember a smoke detector. So your Sims will be notified if a fire starts. Yeah, here's a little dining area. So there's only 3 chairs. So if you have like 2 Sims living here, they can have that, and then maybe like a guest sit in one of the chairs. Over here is the bathroom, which is not fancy by any means, but there is a robe hanging here. So we do have some toilet paper and a hand towel. And here is the shower. I even put a bath mat down because I don't know. My whole thing about bath mats is that like when you're getting out of like the bathtub or a shower, you're stepping onto essentially cold tile, and there is a very good chance that you will slip. So bath mats for the win, prevents you from falling and breaking something. This is the bedroom, and I'm not sure exactly how I feel about the swatches in here, but I didn't want to go for like a basic blue bedroom because I feel like that is done a lot because the blue swatches are so nice, but I wanted to do something different. So I went with this like kind of beigey orange mix. So I don't think it looks too bad. Definitely not my first choice though for color scheme, but it is what it is. And then the final room down here is the little office. Like I said, there is an easel and a computer, so while it is not a big room, it is definitely a room that can be utilized. And yeah, that is the entire house. So I think it turned out really, really good, and it is up on the gallery for you. So if you go to my thing here, which apparently I need to connect to the gallery again. But if you go to my page, it is TheSimmingKoalaa with 2 A's. I always have it in the description for you guys. But it's called Base Game Home, and it is 36,927 simoleons on the gallery. So like I said, not a starter home, but it is a comfy house for sure. And I don't think it actually turned out that bad at all. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And with that, I am gonna go. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel and make sure you have notifications on so you don't miss anything. Be sure to follow my socials. Links are below. I'll see y'all soon. Bye.